Naxalism, the biggest internal security challenge that India is facing at the moment, with dozens of states directly or indirectly affected by it. Let us take an in depth look at it and see if it is being funded by China and Pakistan. Since independence, India has been solely focused on Pakistan, with whom it has fought 4 wars. Due to this narrow focus, India has forgotten other internal and external issues facing the country. In 1962, India lost the war against China, which forced the Indian government to start focusing on the LAC, where China had been slowly taking away their territory. The Galwan clash was the threshold after which Indians said enough is enough and are now changing their stance to aggressive defense from passive defense. The same concept should also apply to the Naxalite insurgency, which has been growing since decades with no end in sight. It is high time that the Indian government realizes the threat that this insurgency poses and starts taking steps to end this, as it is rotting the nation from within. The movement started as a peasant revolt in the town of Naxalbari in West Bengal in 1967. Naxals are considered far left in terms of ideology and are followers of Mao, who is considered as a paramount leader to the CCP. Soon after the revolt, there was a split, with some formed political parties like the CPIM and some took to violent measures of starting an insurgency against the Indian government. In the years later, their focus shifted from West Bengal to other states like Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, a few among many. This rapid expansion, termed as the Red Corridor, was becoming one of the biggest internal security challenge that India is facing. The Prime Minister at the time, Dr. Manmohan Singh, stated that the Maoists posed the biggest internal threat to India's security and their activities had intensified over the previous years. In order to get rid of the Naxals from the affected states, the then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi gave a go-ahead to the Indian Army and the CRPF to locate and eradicate Naxalites. During this operation, the Indian Army, CRPF, and the Indian Air Force killed and captured thousands of insurgents and their sympathizers. Despite the large number of troops conducting operations, the Naxals were able to kill hundreds of Indian soldiers as well. But this was just the beginning, as Maoists had made up plans to ambush and attack the Indian forces deployed. Let's take a look at the timeline and major events that took place during the Operation Green Hunt. In 2009, the operation begins with 80,000 CRPF personnel and 10 Indian Air Force combat helicopters being deployed. In Feb 2010, Kishanji, an insurgent leader, attacks a CRPF camp and kills 25 soldiers. In April 2010, Naxalites ambushed and killed 75 CRPF personnel in the jungle. This was known as the Dantewada ambush. In June 2010, Naxalites stormed a police station in Chhattisgarh and killed 26 policemen. In 2013, the Maoists attacked the convoy of the Congress party and killed 25 party workers along with the former state minister and the Congress party chief at the time. The question arises that despite the large number of CRPF personnel deployed, how are the Naxalites able to conduct ambushes with such impunity? And where are they getting the money for weapons, training and ammunition? According to a former Naxalite who surrendered in 2016, the Maoists get the majority of their money from levying taxes on their supporters and donation from private owners. There have also been reports by intelligence agencies and law enforcement that the Naxalites do get training and material support from foreign countries as well, mainly China and Pakistan. In fact, after the Maoist insurgency started, their leaders visited China to get training and to learn lessons from the CCP on how to start a communist revolution all across India. There are even reports that Chinese intelligence agencies are helping Maoist scientists to build weapons manufacturing facilities deep in the jungle where they produce weapons like landmines, rocket-propelled grenades, and rifles.